Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So as I just mentioned, the purpose of this report is to measure compliance of a project against SGP. And in order to arrive at compliance, how do we measure the compliance? What all, components make up the compliance of a project? So we, at this stage, we have thought about 4 attributes or parameters. So first, and these are in the columns H through K, okay? And I'll explain to you what are these. So project has milestone dates, yes or no. Now, this attribute means that whether the project has a scheduler and the scheduler has defined a milestone-based project plan with dates or not. If it is not done, then project is not compliant. And just to show you, if you see all the values are yes, and we see that all these have dates from phase, we measure it from gate 3 onwards or initiation phase onwards, okay? Now, however, if there are projects which are missing these dates, and if I select no, if you see which are non-compliant projects, you will see that they don't have dates.
Just
right?
for 2 gates, yeah, they have.
Yeah, 2 projects don't have dates. So that means they are not compliant. Okay, so that is the logic. And there is a Excel formula that is already built in. Okay, so that can be reused if you, you can just do the copy paste all very easily. Now moving on to the next parameter, this is a manually fed parameter. Okay, this is based on whether the project, whether they have submitted the scorecards for the last month, if they had some phase gate due, and did they submit scorecard for that? That is the overall goal of this parameter. And as you will see, 100% knows that. Now that is little interesting because some people do submit scorecards. So what has happened is that the projects who are submitting scorecards, they are not in P6. Okay, so those poor guys are compliant, while projects which are in P6, they are not submitting scorecards. So that is what is going on here.
So you did it manually here. Okay,
I did it manually.
Yeah. So the only
and this
thing is
little bit of a.
Sorry. Yeah.
This is a process that requires improvement. Okay, and we'll talk about this at length, and because at this juncture, because people are not so compliant, what is happening is that the volume is pretty low. Like you will get probably 8 to 10 maximum. This last month we got, I think, 5 to 6 scorecards. So volume is low right now, but so it will be manageable. But if the volume increases, then it will become a challenge to track this. So we'll talk about that later. Okay. This is a issue to be resolved. Now this is a little interesting column J. Whether the project baseline finish date is in future, yes or no. Now, what does that mean? That basically this project is past deadline. Whatever it was, the deadline was set for the project, and that is the baseline finish date. Okay, and we compare the baseline finish date with today's date, and if the baseline finish date is not in future, that means it is already in history, and still the project is active, that means there is a problem. And so if you see, we wanted to frame it positively, that yes will mean that projects are compliant, no will mean that projects are not compliant. That is why the question is framed accordingly. Okay. And if you see from the formula perspective, we are just comparing baseline finish date greater than today, nothing more than that. And you will be very happy or not so happy to see that there are quite a few projects who are crossing the baseline finish dates. Now let us check. If you see the baseline finish dates for these projects, they are in history. Correct?
Yeah.
They already passed. So either baseline finish date has to be changed or something has to be done. And in very ideal scenario, this should align with project status equal to red in your PHR. Ideally speaking. Okay. Not that we are going in that direction or we are thinking like that, but good, it may be a sanity check. And this is about a similar thing. It is just the baseline finish date is about the phase gate 7 or phase 7, which is the last phase, like end of the project, while this is production deployment, the column K. So, and it is not compared against today, but it is compared against the committed delivery date.
Right.
Okay. And again, if you can see, there are quite a few projects which have passed. You are doing this report, I believe, right? The committed delivery date.
Yeah, the CDD pass.
It is
CDD.
pretty much, you will see that a lot of projects are past committed delivery. So either something you have to correct the delivery date or project should be marked red.
Aarti, I'll attend another meeting and join you back, okay?
Okay, sure, Naren.
Hey, Naren, you're there?
Yes, Ray. Yeah, just join, but good that you guys are going. Take care of it. Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay. So then we are going to project started by planned start date, yes, no. So these are basically, very simple computations, as you can see.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. If it is equal to actual start date.
Versus, these are very, very simple computations. This is basically, if project, actually this is a meaningless column. If you ask me personally, this M can be dropped also, but whenever you decide to revamp, this can be dropped. This M and N both actually, because we are not using, but if there is any, I mean, you just need to, validate whether there is any date for, in this particular month, any phase gate for this project, and if it is yes, then you put, yes, otherwise no. But again, has very little value. Only these 4 columns have more value. Okay, before I jump to these LMN, let me tell you that only if all 4 are yes, we mark overall compliance equal to yes.
4 means H2K?
All of the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them should be yes.
Okay, H2K. Okay.
H2K.
Yeah, if
okay,
they are
so
yes,
there is,
yeah.
Means there is like either they are, it's a binary situation. Either it is a fully compliant or there is no compliance.
Okay, got it. If one of that is no, then yeah, it's just totally non-compliant.
Yeah. So rarely you will find fully compliant projects.
Yes, I see. Yeah, I don't see any so far. If you scroll, maybe.
Because we saw that SGP scorecard was not there for. Okay. Now going to column O through S. These are the columns which come from, basically this is nothing but a P6 data. Now P6 data, I'm sure you're familiar with that.
No.
The famous file that we get.
Yeah, I don't know how to get that, this data, the P6. No idea what format.
They will send. They send it.
Okay.
So I'll that part I'll explain. But
okay.
You know the file, right? I'll just share that this particular file that you must be.
Oh, you just share one file, I know, but I don't know which one is that. So I need to see. Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
I know you shared something.
Oh, okay. This file. Have you seen this file?
No.
Oh, okay. So you will get data in this format.
So all with tabs?
Where?
All tabs will be there, or you created the tabs?
No, a lot of tabs I have generated. See, that is the only challenging part in this.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of data transformation required.
So you get with the first tab or just all tab?
No, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs.
Okay. This
First 4 you will get.
Okay.
2, 3, 4. See, others.
Yeah, these are
created. I have to do it because basically you are trying to, you get the data in row by row format. Now you want to put that in a columnar format. Right? So that is the first issue. Second issue will be that the data will be little bit, earlier that was a very big thing, that they had all kind of characters that were included in date field. There were alphabetic characters and whatnot. And so that is another issue. Third will be like there may be asterisk marks and things like that.
So
you need to clean up first.
Okay. So then put it here then. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then pivot it. Okay. Now, if you see, you will be doing merge of your portfolio file with the P6 data. That is all. That is the entire work is this. Nothing more than that. Because this data, like planned start date, actual start date, go live time frame, actual delivery date, committed delivery date, all of these dates will come from
portfolio
health. Okay, portfolio file. And even these metadata like business unit, IT director, GPM, project manager, project number, name.
So would you mind sharing that, Suresh, on the Snow, because you will be saving as a different name, right? So I can directly pick from there if I need. I don't know like how much I'm gonna to work on this. Which file do you?
No, I'll share everything. This is like very you know, I'm just explaining to you right now. Then whatever I've also given you access, and I'm not going away. So
no, that's totally fine. No, I'm just asking, like, it will be easier for us, right? For me and Anthony, like, for at least I know which file you were getting from ServiceNow. Maybe you might have saved.
Of course.
Yeah.
And if you see on top, it is written.
Oh, okay. So yeah, written is there, but what is the name of the file?
Yeah. Of course, I will share with you.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, if required, we can do one dry run also. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is not. See, the painful part here is going to be data cleanup.
Yeah,
and
that
lot
I
of
always.
transformation that we need to do. Like this pivot will be there. Then you need to do this. Get another pivot for this baseline finish date. Where the project is,
I get it. Yeah.
Because you're doing mix and merge, and for different kind of
files.
Fields.
Yeah.
So that is the painful part. Okay. So you will get like this piece export is there or not. Obviously, what I'm showing are the projects that are being tracked in P6. Okay. And then we have, whether there is a baseline finish date, yes or no. Some of them don't have, as I had shown you. Then we are also looking at active projects only. But if you see, there is a mismatch that there is a project in P6, but it is not marked active in the file that you are maintaining. Okay, so something that you may want to, sometimes check this. Ideally, we are supposed to have only active projects.
Right. So is there any way to check in P6 like as we do in ServiceNow?
So you just go by, what I do is I do join on. See, this is a P6 file, right?
Right.
So I will pivot it. I get all the project numbers of all the project IDs that are there in the P6 dump. If you do the pivot, you can, get the, you understand this, right?
Right. No, I get it. Yeah, this one, okay.
Okay, so this is like, you will get project IDs in row format. And if you transform it, you can get unique project IDs.
Correct.
You can get all the dates in the columnar format.
That we are looking for that, yeah. Okay.
And trust me, this is going to be a little bit of a painful exercise. I'll tell you why. And I mean, I don't want to scare you today, but just point you out where I've spent a lot of time. See, there are challenges like, if you see, I don't know, yeah, this is filtered one. So this is a good, you will see that although, let me remove the filters. You will see that there are, the way they do it is, for one stage gate, there are two tasks or activities. One is called as start, one is called as completed. Okay. Now, sometimes some schedulers, what they do by mistake or whatever, they will put the start date in the finish date. Okay. So you will find that some projects have, for every stage, they may have 4 baseline finish dates.
Right.
All kind of permutation combinations happen. So you have to go back and keep cleaning up. So it's nothing, it's not a very complex effort, but it's a, till you get everything cleaned up, you will have to keep doing checking. And that's how, what I do is, I do the count of these pivots first. Instead of using the date directly, I'll first do the count, and I can see if it's more than 7, that means some dates are duplicated. So then you look at that project ID, figure out where the date is duplicated, and you can clean it up.
Oh, okay. That's why you are just taking the grand total of these rows. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not using anywhere.
No, not using, just to give you idea which field, like which column, like row has a
where is
duplicate. Yeah.
Where is duplicate? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then I will, and this is your portfolio health report. Then what I do is I try to make the format of this report. See, in the actual report, if you see the actual report, it's a very, very big, there are too many columns in it. I mean, so you have to, and the order of the columns may not be exactly per what is required, here. So that's a challenge. So what we do is that you have to organize this report.
Hey guys, I'm going to drop off this call. Naren pinged me. He needs me to do something with him. So I'm going to drop off this call. We'll catch up with you guys later.
Sure. Bye.
Okay?
No problem.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay. So what is happening here? That's a pretty bulky report. So probably it's taking time.
Right.
So what happens is that you will need to align align create a kind of an interim, whatever we call it, staging table, right? Staging a kind of a database where before you put the data in the final report, you try to mirror all the columns for the final report so that you populate the data there. And you work with that interim table to do all the merge, mix, match, and update, so that you don't. And what eventually I do is I just then copy everything and paste it, and the formulas, I don't need to then redo the formulas. Then the formulas, if I put the, okay, let me take a step back and explain to you better. So as you can see from here, these are all, except for this column J, which is manually entered, other columns are computed columns. Right. They are formula-driven columns, correct?
Yeah.
So instead of rewriting the formulas, you may want to reuse the spreadsheet, correct?
Okay.
So
yeah.
you first clean up the contents, or you just copy paste the
underline data. Underline data.
Yeah. Okay. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to keep in your original table that you're going to copy, you will need to have these columns empty, because these are the columns which will get computed. And you will need to map, like column O will need to be date, P, You understand?
Yeah. Because all
That's it.
formula based. Yeah. Because and you need to put in that file, right? So it should be clean too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So you just copy paste the data and the other things will compute on their own. And the only thing then after that you enter is manually, yes, who has submitted scorecard and who has not.
Right.
That's it. Okay. And now the other question that you will have, and that I don't know how strong you are with VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, or Power Query. So you need to join the table because you are going to get this data from P6, column OPQ, whatever, right? So you need to join the two Excel tables on a common key, which is your PRJ ID.
Right. So we can do VLOOKUP, right?
You can do either VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of data, correct?
Right.
So in VLOOKUP, I'm not sure whether you can do copy 4-5 columns at a stretch in one go. XLOOKUP gives that feature. So if you want to use XLOOKUP, you can use XLOOKUP. Otherwise, if you use Power Query, you can do directly from Power Query also. But I don't know, have you learned Power Query?
Yeah, I did it in the past, but I think, I have done that. So now I'm thinking to change anything. Yeah, it's easy. I know that. Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
If you use Power Query, a lot of Excel features are there, and
Right. It's easy. It's kind of automated, right? Yeah. So once we change the data, then underline data, then it will populate. We can just refresh.
Yeah, and in Power Query you can move columns and things like that also. So,
correct. Yeah. So
formatting also becomes.
So there are only 4-5 fields are there, then it's not an issue, right? With the VLOOKUP also, right? Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
But 5 fields, you can't do VLOOKUP every time, no?
Right.
That's true. 5. You will need to otherwise do XLOOKUP does 5 fields at a time. It can give you all the things, by the way.
Okay.
So that you should try XLOOKUP.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So if you do, or even HLOOKUP will work, but I'm not sure. I've not tried that. Okay. XLOOKUP will definitely work, and Power Query is another way. I have done with Power Query, but I'm not sure that I've not come across many people using it.
Right.
So the lookups are what people rely on. Whatever works for you. But point is, you have to join two tables on common key of project ID.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So that is this. That is all the work that is.
Okay.
And I'll not overwhelm you right now because I know you will need to process everything. And you may have questions. What I suggest is, I have given you access to the directory.
The link you shared, right? Maybe.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's there. Yeah.
So you can take a look. I have put, in compliance report, there is a May report.
Okay. If you stop sharing, then maybe I can let me.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Let me share. Yeah. Because I just opened that. So maybe is this one, right?
Yeah, sure.
So this is, yeah.
Yeah. So now this is your P6 file.
Which one?
The last one, StageGate.
This one.
File 1.
Okay.
Yeah. This is scorecard tracker. Basically, who has submitted scorecard, yes or no. Then this is the report that I showed you. Then consolidated project info, you should be familiar because that is your file.
Okay.
And this is the template I used last month's report for formula purpose, because then what I do is I will take last month's report, rename it as May report, and remove clear contents and copy the data. Formulas are still there, but only data needs to be refreshed.
Because you get every month, right?
Yeah. Now, this is a logic, okay? Now, there are many ways to do this. Whatever outcome we are achieving, there will be many ways to achieve this. So it's not like, outcome can be achieved through, the point I'm trying to make here is that you will have, so long as you know what outcome is to be produced, how you produce it, probably there can be flexibility based on the skills that you are comfortable with.
Correct.
Okay. But essentially, there are two files, the P6 file and the portfolio file. Both are linked on TRJID, and you need to basically change the format of data, transform the data or transpose the data of P6 from rows to columns, then do a lot of data cleanup, and whatever predefined formulas are there, you can use that. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. It will take one iteration for you. So we will do that, but you can, go through this, and we can then, if required, we can do one full run also, doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely. We can do that. Maybe because I have set up one more, I don't know, like how many we need.
I'm going to be there for next week also, so not a problem.
Yeah.
And even after that, I'm not like, you have my number and whatnot.
Yeah. So let me first stop recording then, because So